A lot of updates since the last time we took a video where we started the pumpkin patch. This time we have the progress for the chicken coop, and I have a lot of the pumpkins coming up. Big differences in partial shade versus full sun, huge differences. And at least 100 pounds of discarded mushroom substrate that was used to grow the mushroom, and now I have it to add to the compost. Pretty darn excited about that. For starters, here's the progress for the chicken coop. This is just a bunch of wood that I posted on Nextdoor and asked people if they had anything lying around. And there's a lot of pool decking, old pool decking somebody had. The coop itself, I don't know if I've showed that in the videos before, but that was from my grandpa and his cousin, I believe, either his cousin or nephew. I think it's his cousin. They helped me build that, or rather I helped them build it. They did most of the work, that's what I'm trying to say. But pretty good progress. Those planks are rooted about a foot deep, and really just the only thing that I bought in this frame here is the chicken wire that you see laying there, and I'll be digging essentially a trench between each post like that, and then on the ground, and putting that at least 6 inches deep into the ground as I staple and nail the chicken wire all the way around the structure. And for its base for structural support, this was the laundry line, the drying line that was on our property, just that pole and this pole right here. I just put this wood on there, and it'll serve as the structural support for keeping this thing pretty darn solid. And then of course putting the chicken wire all the way around will keep it solid as well. We're likely going to put that chicken coop on top of this metal old table. It was here when we bought the property, and I'm gonna stick the pegs, the legs into the ground, so that'll be solid support. Even if this thing goes all the way down so that this part right here is touching the ground, that's still a good probably 5 inches off the ground. We just need to keep the chicken coop itself off the ground for even air to go through underneath. As far as the pumpkin patch update, here's the original Big Max pumpkins that I had planted in the very beginning. You can see that there used to be 3. I don't know if you watched the earlier videos, there used to be 3 of these built in here. There's the remains of one of them that just completely died off. This soil does not have nearly enough nutrients in it to sustain a lot, much less 3 Big Max pumpkins to sprawl out in just this one mound right here. So these 2, at least, that looks like 2 grasshoppers having sex right there. There you go. You get sex on YouTube. Good for y'all. But these are going out pretty nice. You can see the parts that are going further away. The tendrils are starting to go towards the ground. You probably can't see that in the picture, but yeah, they're going to start going into the ground and sucking up nutrients like a straw. Here are the pumpkins that I planted, the regular Connecticut jack-o'-lantern pumpkins that I've planted in full sun on this side of the property. And you're going to see here in a second how different they are from the main pumpkin patch, honestly, that is in partial shade and a completely different part of the property as far as I guess as far as soil. These mounds, I'm pretty sure, and this is back when I first started digging and stuff, I'm pretty sure I mended these with some soil that we brought in that had organic plant matter just mixed into it. So much better, I wouldn't say much better, but at least better, we'll just say, soil than what we're about to see. So these are doing pretty darn well. This is 3 plants in a mound, 3 plants in a mound, the 3 plants in a mound. I'm probably going to start helping them by finding some of the tendrils, the pumpkin tendrils, and putting, well, honestly what is sand, but we'll call it soil, putting those tendrils into our soil to help them scoop up some nutrients. Here's the accidental cantaloupe mound. Looks like it's wilting pretty good. We'll see a very real-time experience of survival of the fittest here. See which one of these guys comes out on top. I'm not gonna thin this. You're supposed to thin them to make, whatever the strongest one is that's gonna thrive. We got some flowers growing on them, so that's a very good sign. So yeah, that'll be a cool update once we find out which one wins. By comparison, here's the other side, the main, I guess the secondary main pumpkin patch. Not a lot of growth at all. There's this little guy right there. That's one of them that did well on one of these mounds. Most of these, which are further away from the tree line there, most of these are not doing so hot. You can see that there's 2 here that are doing okay, not thriving whatsoever. 2 here, barely 2 here. 1 there. So onesie twosies in this kind of secondary patch, and then we get over to the closer to the tree line, and it's doing just okay. It's again not thriving like we just saw with the other mounds, but these guys they're growing, doing all right. 3 in that mound, a couple in that mound. That looks like a bean almost. That might be a bean right there. I don't know. It could be a pumpkin. That's a pumpkin. Yeah. So, I mean, these, I mean, any rational person can see that these are not thriving as well as the ones that are over there in the full sun all the time. So this is not conclusive as far as, it is just that full sun does better. I believe full sun is the way to go for pumpkins, but there's got to be some soil differences. The difference between these over here and those thriving ones over there, and it's a huge difference. Looking okay though. This is one of the more exciting parts of the update. The Central Texas Mycological Society has a ongoing program where volunteers can go to a Smallhold mushroom growing company up in Buda, Texas, and grab essentially out of their garbage. They're literally throwing these spent mushroom substrate growing blocks where they grew oyster mushrooms, so king oyster, lion's mane, and I think blue oyster as well. You can see that might be a lion's mane right there. I mean, this is just gross stuff for us, but awesome for the soil. I'm in contact with my super cool friend Nelson up in Colorado. He, being, I think he's a soil scientist, if I'm not mistaken. At the very least, he's gone to school for much more soily stuff than I have. He's telling me to take that substrate and essentially put it directly onto this soil here and cover it just a little bit with, I think he said hay maybe, but all I have is wood chips. So I am going to put all of that over here with the tree line, and because it has a little bit of shade, it'll do a little bit better conditions for just, I don't know, mushroom stuff. Maybe throw it, I'm thinking right here, there's a little like opening here in my tree line, but I'm gonna put it right here with a water, that sprinkler right there can still hit over here. Trying to unzoom. Yeah, it can still hit right there. It'll get a little bit of water when I water these pumpkins right here, and it'll be a little bit out of the sun, and it'll have some other stuff growing around it to keep it nice and shady and moist. And we'll use this as a compost area, kind come to think of it, I probably should have not dumped it over there earlier today. I was just trying to get it off the truck, honestly, because that stuff is stinky. It smells like fishy crab earth stuff. But I'll have to work it to get all of, at least most of that pile, and those wood chips right there, and those wood chips right there. Try to get all that kind of growing over here. And it really will be growing. I mean, soil is more of a living substance than it is dead. Second to last update is I bought this, I think it's called an impact, yeah. Oh, I was gonna say impact sprinkler, but it's brass impact sprinkler on tripod. One of my friends suggested that I get a one that can disperse water a little bit more widely, since we're gonna be getting goats and such, and I'll be able to use that to cover, it says what, 90 feet? Yeah, 90 foot diameter. Put down, when I do put down seed, either cover crop or grass grass seed, maybe even lavender. I might dip my toes into growing some of that. I'll need that much dispersal to cover as much as I can back here. I might be buying another one of those for as much land as we have back here. I mean, this is, I mean, I for sure can fit probably a football field in here. Let's go look at this real quick. I know I said second to last updates. Just want to look at this since the camera is on it. I have not watered this, and I think it's only watered one, maybe two times since I stopped watering it. That is a really cool, I have no clue what that is, but I really want to get some water on it and see what happens. It looks like, you know, whatever natural, beautiful thing this is just refusing to die. That is really cool. This was a watermelon bed, so I wonder if that is watermelon that's just hanging in there. That's really cool. This is probably the last update, unless I think of something else. But because a lot of this doing stuff in this back really crappy sand, crappy grass area, getting goats and stuff, and amending as much as we can back here. A lot of those efforts are to get as much of these goat head sand burr stickers just off our property as much as we can. I mean, they are a super annoying feature of this property and just everywhere down here in San Antonio. And a small little thing that I did a long time ago, I say a long time ago, probably within the last 2 years, was get into just a little bit of leather working. You know, I made a cup holder, a little can holder, a beer holder for my grandma. I can't remember what else I made. I learned how to sew into leather and punch holes in leather and things like that, and it got me thinking. What I have these boots, and these stickers always get on my jeans and into my boots, because that's how boots have the opening on top, and stickers are going to get in there with all this grass that's potentially knee high as I'm walking around. So I bought I think it was like $20 some worth of thick leather, about boot kind of thick leather. That's completely, I think it's called vegetable. If you want to look it up, like vegetable leather, being able to be vegetated, something like that. I don't know the whole situation of the verbiage there, but either way, here is. I really hope you can see that. But I'm just sticking these things in there, and eventually I'll find a way to either put those literally on my boots, or sew them themselves together to form literally this leather gaiters to be working down here in southern San Antonio with all these sandburrs. No clue if that's going to help anybody, but that's my update. And doing creative stuff like that to try to work this land is super fun. So please like and subscribe, all that good stuff. I have a Patreon a Substack, a Twitter, all connected to this. The Patreon really just has the opportunity for you to throw $5 towards this land, towards me helping out this land, and in return, so far, all I have to give is a planting schedule that satisfies the requirements of planting here in southern San Antonio. If you want to take a look at that. And if you do see that and you see something that is worth amending, worth editing, that would be real helpful for you to tell me as well. So this is definitely a give and take. I hope to be providing more towards knowledge and giving out to y'all as I learn. So far, within the first year of doing this, all I have is update videos. So thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and such. And you'll see me next time. I won't see you.